Hello, my lovely pal number ones. If you chose this image, then this part of the video is for you. Jumping right into it, we are looking at ever since you maintained no contact, how does this person view you? How do these people view you? Pal number one. Could be multiple people. Let's get right into it. How do they view my pal ones ever since they've maintained no contact? Page of Pentacles. New opportunity. Oh, Hierophant. Okay. We have the Page of Pentacles, the Hierophant, Taurus energy. We have the Nine of Cups. Let's start with zodiac signs. We have the Page of Pentacles, which is heavy earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but specifically Virgo. And then we have the Hierophant here. You or these people could have Taurus placements, specific Taurus placements. I'm hearing Taurus in your big three. And then with the Nine of Cups is water sign energy, but specifically a Jupiter in Pisces or just a Pisces in general. So you or these people could have those placements. So yeah, let's get right into it. So immediately with this whole thing, I am going to start with the Page of Pentacles. This person sees you focused on your own growth with the Page of Pentacles, focused on your own opportunities or even creating opportunities. Thus, this person does want a new opportunity with you. But I feel like with the Hierophant, they respect you too much to even ask for that. It's almost as if this person can acknowledge and realizes what they did wrong in order to deserve the no contact from you. They realize what it was that they did towards you to trigger this no contact in the first place, okay? Especially with the Hierophant. So yeah, they're very respectful of you, and they can see that you focused on your own growth. They view you as studious, they view you as grounded, okay? And they can see that you're working hard on your career and your finances specifically, okay? Or a new hobby, or just focusing passionately and diligently on your creative pursuits, or just pursuits in general, something that can make money for you, okay? They see you as someone who is practical and building a stable life rather than crying over the silence. They can see that you're busy with the Page of Pentacles. They really can see that you're busy, and they can see that you've turned your back towards them, and you kind of are looking towards, you got money on your mind, towards the pentacle. Your eyes are just focused on your goals right now, specifically targeted towards your career, targeted towards your health, targeted towards just improvement of the self with the Page of Pentacles, okay? Yeah, and then with the Nine of Cups, they view you as very happy and very successful and completely fine without them. This could have been somebody that you definitely broke things off with. It may have been not serious, but then now that you've maintained no contact, they can see that it could have grown into it being something serious. Or maybe they didn't take it serious when y'all were still together, or when y'all were still in their life. They didn't take your presence seriously, or rather they didn't respect your presence, or they didn't value your presence in their life, or they didn't believe the fact that you made them happy, or that you were one of their wish fulfillments. You were one cup away from being their 10 of cups, and I feel like you walking away, or you maintaining no contact, is the fact that you took one cup away and you turned that cup into a pentacle. So this is not a Page of Cups, it's a Page of Pentacles, so you're like, fuck this shit. Fuck putting in effort into relationships. The only relationship that matters right now to me is my relationship with money, is my relationship with my career and my goals, and bettering myself, okay? With the Nine of Cups, they see you as independent and having achieved emotional independence, okay? You don't need nobody for nothing. You don't even need a hug. You don't need it, but if you want it, you'll get it, But as far as these people, they see you as very happy, very successful, especially with you and the Page of Pentacles. It's almost as if you are going to success, and you are happy establishing your success. You are happy while you're finding your feet in your career. You are happy while you're going after your career. Even though it's at the beginning, it's like you're happy still, It's almost like an underground artist. They find you, they compare you to almost like an underground artist that they found or caught on to before they caught the fame, or before they got famous, or before the artist became mainstream or popular, so they view you as that. And towards them, or in their eyes, they can see that you're heading towards fame, or you're heading towards recognition, you're heading towards being respected and being honored. Okay, especially in your career. So they're like, damn, I really let that person go when I should have focused on building something tangible with them. And as I was shuffling, I told you I heard opportunity. So they definitely want a new opportunity with you. However, with the Hierophant, they're respecting the space. Okay, they're respecting the space that is between you guys. They're respecting the no contact, the maintenance of no contact. They respect that because remember, they know exactly what they did to deserve that from you, or what landed them in this situation to begin with. The Hierophant, they view you with high respect and honor. They view you as somebody with strong values, with strong morals, with strong beliefs. And honestly, with so much spiritual wisdom, I feel like with the beliefs that you even have, you've challenged them. They feel like spiritually you are so highly ranked. They know you are protected, and they respect you. In this no contact situation, this person can feel the silence, and they know that it's what's proper, or it's what's necessary. It's the necessary rule to follow right now. Okay, they're respecting the boundaries that you've put there. They're respecting the commitment. They just want to. This person is just respectful of you. Okay, they don't want to overstep no boundaries. So if you are looking towards their next actions, this person's not going to take any next actions towards you right now, because they feel like they deserve the silence that's coming from you. And they feel like if they ever disturbed that silence with the Page of Pentacles, they would be disturbing your entire momentum right now, especially you focusing on your goals. Again, with this Nine of Cups, it's like, nah, Pal 1 is good without me. I know that too. If I ever said something, what am I going to say to Pal 2? Oopsies, maybe you need to go watch Pal 2. I didn't even record Pal 2 yet. But yeah, it's like, maybe like, what am I even going to say to Pal 1? I'm going to text them and say what? After what I did? Embarrassing. I'm going to say what? And disturb them? And look like I'm this and look like I'm that? I don't even think Pal 1 even wants to hear from me right now. They're too busy focused and growing themselves. At the most, I do want to return in their life and be an asset this time around with the Page of Pentacles, and just be of value. This time around, I want to listen to their orders and listen to what it is that they require, and I would happily and gladly give it to them with the Page of Pentacles, especially given that they have all this wisdom beyond me. I'm willing to learn this time around. I'm willing to take it serious this time around. But I'm hearing with Pal 1 that there is no next time. The time is gone now, okay? So let's get more messages on what they would like to admit to you, if they could, Pal 1. So let's get to shuffling. Let's see. This no contact situation, what do they want to admit to my pal number 1? That you're mysterious. What else do they want to admit to my pal 1? Oh. You know what? They're very quick to talk. They know exactly what they want to say, or what they would say to you if they had the opportunity to. Okay. I mean, at least they would be very straightforward if they were given the opportunity. It's almost as if this person, they're also waiting on fate to take place. With the Hierophant, it's like, I know that they're good without me, and I know that they're doing well without me. They are thriving, in fact, without me. It feels as if ever since I left their life, they got a new lease on life. Ever since Pal 1 has maintained no contact, it feels as though good riddance towards me, as if I was the one who was blocking their pentacles. So what else can I say? They will only be able to do something or come up to you or break no contact with you if the fate or the universe puts it in their hands, almost as if they bump into you in real life, or if they meet you at a mall while you're doing your grocery shopping, or if you guys run into the same circles, that's when they would break no contact. Otherwise, via the phone or anything like that, no. They're too scared, they're afraid. And it's out of respect that they're afraid. The messages that they have for you, we have, you are mysterious. I can never seem to figure you out, Pal 1. Sometimes I feel like you're hiding something from me. Never really know where I stand with you. They'd like to admit that you're mysterious. Let me go. You deserve all the good things in this world, and right now I'm not in a space to give you the type of connection you deserve. Live your life and let me go. I told you. And they know this with the Page of Pentacles, with the Nine of Cups. I told you, it's like they know that, what can I offer, Pal 1? Showing out. I'm acting like I don't care about what's happened between us, but I do. I just want to appear unbothered. That's what they'd like to admit to you. pile number one. Let's look at their dark confessions. They're showing out. That's why they're also not reaching out right now towards you, because they're acting like it doesn't affect them. They're acting like they don't care about what happened. Dark confession is this person wants to say, pile number one, I'm finally seeing my worth, yet I still feel unworthy of your love. I'm telling you, this person just doesn't feel like there's space for them in your life with the Nine of Cups. They feel like, pile number one doesn't even want me. They don't even think of me. They don't even know. This is another thing that they want to confess. No one else makes me feel the way you do, but I'll take it to the grave before I tell you. Oh my gosh, you were their favorite. You were their favorite. Hence why they're acting like they don't care about what happened between the two of you guys, because you were their favorite person, their favorite experience. You gave them their best experience in anything. I'm talking sexually, mentally. This could have been friends. This is a lot of people with the Hierophant, because with the Hierophant, you're ultimately a teacher. So you could be teaching, you could have been a lot of people, your family members, your friends. Oh my God. They also want to admit that I don't want to be contacted right now. I wish to be left alone. I feel like this is more on your side with the Nine of Cups. They think, or they want to admit that you don't want to be contacted right now, that you wish to be left alone. Okay. And they also want to confess that they feel unbalanced and uneasy and don't know what to do to fix it. Hence why they are refusing, or at least stopping themselves from breaking this no contact with you, pile number one, because they feel unbalanced and they don't know what to do to fix it. And most importantly, they don't want to come in and burden you. Not this time around, especially because you maintain no contact. You showed them that if you're going to keep taking, I'm going to go and I'll keep giving to myself, and I'll pour back into myself, and I'll be selfish, and you won't like me then when I take everything that I came with. I'm talking my energy, my time, my money, my wisdom, my intellect, my guidance, just my presence alone. The way that I made you feel, there's nobody else who's going to do that. Just watch. And now I've taken it away and I'm gone. Now you want to be a Page of Pentacles asking me for, you know better not to reach out to me. That's now you, pile one, talking. But anyway, that's all I got, my lovely pile one. This is how these people view you ever since you maintain no contact, and this is what they would admit to you. Okay. Yeah. Bye. Oh, I'm also hearing one more thing. You are mysterious. They try to keep up with you with the Page of Pentacles, but they can't. It's almost as if you're always one step ahead. You're always looking forward towards the next thing, So yeah, bye. That's it. Hello, my lovely pile number twos. If you chose this image, then this part of the video is for you. Let's get right into it. We are checking, ever since you've maintained no contact, how do they view you and what would they like to admit to you? Okay, so let's get right into it. How do they view my pile twos? How do they view my pile twos ever since pile two has maintained no contact with them? Let's get to shuffling. How do they view my pile twos now? Stiff. I just heard stiff. Stiff. Ooh. You saw that and I shuffled on screen, bitch. Stiff, strict program is what I heard. Let's flip this over because, there's two of them. Let's see. Ooh. Sorry, ever since you maintained no contact, how do they view you? Let me start with the zodiac signs quickly, okay? With the Two of Wands, we have fire sign energy, but specifically a Mars in Aries. So you or this person could have a Mars in Aries. And then we have the Empress card, which is ruled by Venus, which also rules Taurus and Libra. So you or this person may have Libra or Taurus in your big three. I'm hearing maybe Libra moon and Libra sun specifically, and Libra risings, and Taurus moon, Taurus sun, Taurus risings. Okay, with the Seven of Swords in reverse, we have another air sign energy, but specifically a moon in Aquarius. Okay, you or this person could have a moon in Aquarius. So let's get right into the reading on how this person views you. Okay, looking at these exact energies, this person views you as the Empress. Okay, somebody who is incredibly beautiful. You are abundant, you are high value. Okay, but however, with the reversed cards here, with the Seven of Swords in reverse and the Two of Wands in reverse, this shows the person's in a struggle. The person who you've maintained no contact with, they're in a struggle. I feel like also it's like a lot of people with the Empress, a lot of people, you need to go watch pile number one, because there's extra messages for you there, especially if you were drawn to pile number one's image as well. Go watch pile one, or maybe you coming from pile one, so this is extra confirmation that this pile is also for you. I'm also hearing foreign with this Two of Wands. Maybe you, one of you guys is a foreigner, or one of you guys are foreign to the country of which that you met this person in, or they're foreign to your country. At the core, they see you as somebody who's stunning, absolutely magnetic, and completely out of their league right now. Ever since you've maintained no contact, you have leveled up expeditiously to a point where they don't even see themselves as a equal towards you, or as if you in their league, or as if they can get you, or as if you can even talk something where you guys are understanding one another. They just feel like you guys are vibrating on two separate frequencies. Okay, but either way, they still view you as somebody who's the ultimate package towards them. Okay, they see all the beauty. You have it all in their eyes. You have the beauty, you have the emotional maturity, you have the stability, you have the warmth, you have a nurturing energy. With the Empress, you may be a mother, or you may be pregnant now. Okay, these could be your exes from anywhere from 2 years to 7 years ago. Okay, you've maintained no contact with these people anywhere from 2 to 7 years. Okay, what can happen in 2 to 7 years? You could have gotten a child, you could have gotten pregnant, and how they view you now is that, damn, you are a mother, you've grown up. When you were dealing with them, maybe you didn't have your own house. Now you have your own house, you have your own car, you have your own things, and they still feel like, well, damn, Palto then leveled up so bad. What do I have to offer? Okay, they view you as if you're thriving without them. Okay, they can see that you're an Empress. You don't chase, you attract. They see that you are growing, you're glowing, and you're creating a beautiful life for yourself without needing their validation. Okay, and you're irresistibly attractive. Okay, on a soul level. On a fucking soul level, they view you as the ultimate partner. You represent a home, you represent comfort, you represent unconditional love to this person. They view you as that. This person, just from the outside looking in, they're like, damn, do I want to be part of that club? You know, I want to get in. I'm hearing Chris Brown and Busta Rhymes. How are you hating from outside of the club? You can even get in. And they feel like they can even get in. Where's my wristband? God damn. Pile number two really, really maintained that no contact, and they were strict about that. 7 years, no talking. 2 years, no talking. Hell, 1 year, no talking. 6 months, 7 months, no talking. They really stuck to that, especially with the swords. Swords is very swift energy. So they can't even fathom the fact that you guys even lasted no contact up to 7 weeks. 2 days of no contact was like, whoa, this is serious. Oh shit, this is serious. But then the ego came in between, and they were like, okay, I'm not going to chase them. And then now, fucked around, it's 2 years later. God damn, Palto really did not chase me. Palto really did not come after me. With the Empress here, they view you as an Empress. Of course, they view you as the queen. They view you as royalty. They view you as something to bow down to, like somebody to listen to. Okay. And then I told you with the reversed cards, this shows their inner world. And so with the Empress seated in the middle of these two cards, they are intimidated by you. They're intimidated by you because there's no tricks that can fly. There's no level of lying, no level of faking it, no level of two-timing you and playing as if they're smart or being sneaky that can work on you. I told you while I was shuffling, I'm hearing strict program, stiff as fuck. Pal 2 is stiff as shit. Pal 2 runs a strict program. I feel like while you were still dealing with this person and they had contact with you, they had the benefit, or they had the luxury of experiencing you before you became an Empress, before you ran a strict program, before you became stiff. They had the luxury to deal with that. And whilst you were dealing with them, I could sense you transitioning into becoming an empress whilst you were still with them. And they could see it too. And so they know that you run a strict program. They can only imagine that, oh, ever since pile number 2 got hotter, thicker, richer, better, they became an empress. They leveled the fuck up in all types of shapes and forms. Ever since they did that, I know that the program is stricter than when I was still in it. I know that the party is litter than when I was still in there. I know she only went further than when I was still in there. I know she only got richer. She only got I just heard spoiled brat. She became more of a spoiled brat. Pal 2 became more of a spoiled brat. They became more of this, and it's strict and it's stiff, and the standards became even higher. Okay? They went from shopping here to here. I need to match that. But then with the 2 of Wands, they view the no contact as a major mistake. They feel like, damn, I made a wrong choice and I lost their chance. I lost my chance with pile number 2. Okay, now they stuck in a loop of regret with the 2 of Wands. Because 2 of Wands speaks of moving forward. It speaks of looking towards your next horizon. It speaks of holding the world in your hands and going, what's next for me out there? The world is so big. What's next? But then with it in reverse, it's like, damn, pile 2 left with the world. Pile 2, I didn't realize. That's the thing. I didn't realize that pile 2, while I still had them in my life and I still had access towards them. Go watch that one of Who Wants Access into Your Life. I have a pick-up pile here. But anyway, I digress. You know, now that they left with that access, god damn it. Now I'm stuck in a loop. I'm stuck in a loop of regret. And they're too afraid to move. They want to step forward, but they feel completely paralyzed. They view you as so stable and so powerful that they fear you will reject them and look down on them if they reach out. They don't know how to bridge the gap. They feel like you are going to little boy them, little sis them. They feel like you're going to step on them. To breathe the same air as you will cost them their life. They fear that part. It's a whole lot of fear with this person. And it's a loop. It's a consistent cycle. I just heard it's the price that they pay for putting you what they put you through. They lied to you though with the 7 of Swords. Oh, they lied. They lied to you. They betrayed you. Maybe it was toxic. Maybe it was toxic actually, now that I'm looking at the 7 of Swords. Shit. They played themselves. They played themselves, pal 2. Ooh-wee. And with that 7 of Swords, they feeling guilt over the past. They were sneaky. They were emotionally detached and dishonest before the silence. They are now facing severe guilt. They know they can't fool you anymore, pal 3. What the fuck? I'm sorry, that was an honest mistake. I didn't mean to say pal 3. And I'm saying what the fuck because I said it in pal 1 and I said pal 2 by mistake. So now, oh my God. They can't fool you anymore. With that Empress, I told you, everything about you has leveled up, including your discernment, including your spiritual gifts, including your intuition, your female intuition, your feminine energy, your feminine intuition, including that part has increased. So they know they can't fool you anymore. They know that the old ways of doing things and talking to you will never fly it, will never work. Not now, not ever, not in this stage and not going forward, okay? Okay, pile number 2, let's look at their dark confessions. What they would confess to you right now if they could. What would they confess to my pile number 2s ever since they maintain no contact with pile 2s? What would they admit in this moment towards my pile 2s? Okay. Let's see. Also, this is what they would confess to you if they could, that I know that you may not feel for me as I feel for you. With the 7 of Swords here, I feel like that's one of the lies that they keep telling themselves about you in order for themselves to feel good about themselves, almost like to console themselves, yeah. And they also want to admit or confess that I have lost all control of my life and I keep messing up. Especially with that 2 of Wands in reverse, it's almost as if besides just being debilitated and unable to move towards you, it's like they can't even move towards their own life goals. and just move in general. And I am distracting myself to avoid thinking of you. Ooh, I don't need to explain that. This is another thing they'd like to admit or confess, that their focus is on their life and they can't be bothered to worry about you. Oh, okay. Yes. And that they feel cold and detached from this connection, and I can't feel emotions right now. I told you they're lying to themselves. They keep lying to themselves. They're running from the fact that they're running from the regret. It's a lot of emotions. They're running away from the regret that they feel of losing you, and all of that. And then it's like, no, I know Pal 2. There's no way Pal 2 feels for me the way that I feel for them. They've leveled up so far, so much. I know that they cannot still be attracted to me. Okay, fine, I'm going to distract myself and not even think about Pal 2. Let me go to work. And I'm not going to lie, for some days that shit does work. Okay? And because it works, because they're able to go cold and detach for themselves from how they feel about you. Because they're able to lie to themselves. They're able to detach with that Seven of Swords. And quite frankly, there's so much happening in their life that they've lost control and they keep messing up and their focus is on their life. So they can't be really, it's not, in as much as they feel the regret, they feel the fact that they played themselves, and the fact that they feel the loss of you. It's still like, I can't do shit because my life ain't shit. I'm going to fix myself, or I'm going to head over to pal number 2 and ask for contact again with pal number 2 and offer them what? And then I'm still going to feel like a piece of shit standing next to the Empress, which is pal 2. I'm still going to feel like shit when I look right next to the Empress and I'm like, damn, I didn't move any bit with that 2 of Wands when I compare myself to the Empress. Pal number 2 deserves better than me. Pal number 2 deserves the Emperor, not me. Give me more on what they would confess towards my pal 2, if they could. We have the future. I daydream about our future together, going on adventures and growing old together. I want it all. Yeah, it's more so they reserve you for their future, but not right now. Like right now, shit. Only now am I being the Seven of Swords in reverse. Ooh, yeah. As I said that, not the right time actually fell. What else would they like to admit? They have not the right time. This person would like to admit that they're overwhelmed with responsibilities and they don't have time or energy for a relationship, even though they do fantasize about a future with you, but right now is just not the right time for them to reach out to you. Let me actually get a love message, because I was called to use this deck for you, pal number 2. Let's see. What would they like to admit? Okay, we have 1. That's all I need. With this card, we got actions speak louder than words. This person wants you to know that if you want to know what someone is feeling, watch what they are doing. Okay? Watch what they are doing. I feel like that's also advice from your ancestors in general. That if this person ever reaches out to you or breaks no contact, because they do imagine a future with you. So in the future, in the near future, maybe after 7 years, after 2 years, after 2 more years, after 7 more years, they're going to reach out to you. But even then, look at their actions, because their actions will speak louder than their words. And this person feels as though even in the past, right now, while you're watching it, in the past when they had access towards you and they were able to gain contact with you, they feel like you watched their actions rather than believe their words. And so now they're suffering the consequences of their actions, because their actions spoke louder than their words. And you observed that with the Empress. You observed that type of energy. You've always been an Empress in the making, okay? So you've always had high standards, or somewhat of a relationship, or what you want your relationship to look like, or what you want it to feel like. You've always had an idea of where you want to go, who you want to be, and how you want to look like, the future version of yourself, the highest version. And you went out there and you became that highest version. And so now they're like, damn, I have no option but to fantasize about a future with pal number 2, because currently right now, as they are watching this reading, is not the right time. Okay? Bye, my lovely pal number 2s. Mwah. Hello, my lovely pal number 3s. If you chose this image, then this part of the video is for you. Okay, let's get right into it. I will be shuffling on screen. As you've already read from the title, today in this video we are looking at how do they view my pile number threes ever since they've maintained no contact. Before I even picked up this deck, I was also hearing maybe you initiated the no contact, you initiated the distance with this person. That's how you can know this pile is for you. Let's get right into it. How do they perceive my pile number threes ever since they've maintained no contact? Ooh. So, pile number 3, let's get right into it. Ever since going no contact and maintaining no contact with this person, they view you as someone that they deeply miss, but they're actively trying to force themselves to move on with that Chariot card. With that 5 of Cups, I won't lie, they do feel the no contact. They do feel the loss of you. They do feel the boundary that you placed with the no contact. You initiated the no contact. That's what I was hearing while I was also shuffling. And with the 5 of Cups, they're like, I can't chase the same person who initiated it. However, at the same time, I do still feel something for this person. I still do have a soft spot for them. I still do hold them very dearly. Okay, I still view this person as a romantic ideal or as a true love, because they often fantasize about coming forward to offer you an apology or a love confession. Even if they're holding themselves back right now, they do think about it. They do fantasize about it. They make up scenarios in their head where you guys are in a Knight of Cups type of energy, where you guys are equally showing each other this type of love or declaring this type of love. They do envision scenarios where you guys are like, where they're like, oh, I missed you, pal 3, and you're like, I missed you too. So they do fantasize about those moments. But with the 5 of Cups, I feel like they know. They could have procrastinated also on it with the 5 of Cups. Just was wallowing and feeling sorry for themselves for this position that they're in. They could have also just been processing the loss of you with the 5 of Cups. That's what has been stopping them from also reaching out in the meantime, even though with the Chariot, they actively are trying to move on. It's either they're actively trying to move on from you or move towards you with a purpose, or move towards you with a direction, or move towards you with a proper plan. Yeah. This is somebody who's not trying to break no contact for no reason. This is somebody who's trying to, if they were to break no contact with you, they're going to be very purposeful. The 5 of Cups, yeah, this person, despite them being in this 5 of Cups energy and being sad and being lost and kind of being confused and kind of, they're also putting them, I feel like they're punishing themselves. They're punishing themselves for allowing you to go no contact for so long. They're punishing themselves. Yeah. Because they see this no contact period as a test of control. So they're like, no, I'm not going to reach out to pile number 3. I'm not going to reach out to pile number 3. I'm not going to reach out to pile number 3. I'm moving on. Even though they fantasize about you at night, even though they think about you at night, and they fantasize of being in communication with you. Maybe you fantasize of being in communication with this person, but then you're like, I'm not going to reach out to this person because they initiated no contact. Whoever initiated no contact, now they're in a phase of, oof. I wouldn't say it's deep regret, but it's more so on the sadness and the nostalgia. They understand why you guys are in no contact, but they are sad about it. They are sad about losing you, very much so. Regret would imply that they want to go back and change everything, but with the Chariot, it feels like this person is like, no, I don't want to go back and change everything. In fact, I just want to know that in future, if I were to break the no contact, I will be doing it with intention. I will be doing it purposefully. I will be doing it with the right willpower and the right direction. Like, I will just be going towards pile number 3. This is somebody who's like, damn, I lost pile number 3 because I don't know why. Maybe they also were just unfulfilled with life and just were depressed or just had a lot of issues, and they just weren't exuding a lot of happiness at the time when you guys were in their life. This is somebody who's like, I don't know. They just have a bunch of sad, depressive energy. Or maybe you could have met them at their lowest and then they did you dirty also at the lowest. And then you were like, okay, no, I'm leaving you. And they didn't fight for it. They didn't fight for it. They didn't show signs of wanting you to stay, or they didn't show signs of even appreciating who you are and your value that your energy brings to places. And so when you left and you initiated no contact, they were like, well, damn, pile number 3 really did leave with the sunshine. They really did leave with the with the light and the life within me. They really they just left everything dark, and I thought I was depressed. I thought I was sad when I was with pal 3, but now I don't have access to pal 3. They've maintained no contact. I can't talk to them. Shit, my life is even more sad. My life is even in more deep sadness and regret. Now all they can do is reminisce and look back at those memories with nostalgia, but also not the good kind. Like they can't look back and smile. They look back and cry, or they look back and go, I really did fuck that up, didn't I? Because I don't think it's like a third party was involved. It's just a matter of communication about emotions that wasn't relayed to the next person. And it's like a bunch of secrets started to pile up with that Scorpio energy. And then you're like, no, this is too much. I didn't know you were this depressed. I didn't know you were this sad. I didn't know you were this much in debt. I didn't know you were like this. It's not giving very much third parties, or they left you for somebody else. It's not giving that. Yeah, there was a lot of issues surrounding pride, ego, just not wanting to ask for help, and I don't know, things like that. This could also been a friendship. Yeah, let's see some more messages. I'm going to pull from this deck. We are looking for what they'd like to admit to you right in this moment as you're watching this reading. Even though you guys are in no contact, what would they like to admit to my pile number 3s? Oh, these are the cards that I got. We have, I'm sorry, this person wants to admit to you that they hate how much they've hurt you, and they're so sorry for all the pain they've caused. You didn't deserve any of it, my pal number 3. We have this person also wants to admit that they need time to heal. Right now, they're in a space where they need to focus on their healing and their self-love. This isn't about you, pal 3. It's about them. I just heard, isn't it always? It's always about you. And then we have jealousy. This person also wants to admit that they're very jealous and can barely stand it. I told you, you still the romantic ideal. You still their true love. You still a person that they look at and they view that, damn, pile number 3 really did make an impact in the standard of love that this person accepts. It's because of you that they now know what love is, or what it's supposed to look like with the Knight of Cups. Even though they are wearing armor, it's like this armor represents all the experiences I've been through, all the trials and tribulations I've been through. So you can be guaranteed that I won't put you through that same type of situation. And it is because pile number 3 loved me through those trials and tribulations. Person, ever since you maintain no contact, one thing they would admit with that Knight of Cups also is that they will never be able to replace you. They will never be able to replace you, and they will always find people who at least come close to that, or after they heal, they will try to find people who are in resemblance, but they won't compare them to you. I don't know how that's going to work. But they also want to admit that nobody compares to you. No matter how many people they've experienced, how many people they've met, there is no one who compares to you, pile number 3. That's why they are jealous. So when they make these scenarios, they're like, damn, they end up disappointed and in deep regret or in deep sadness, because it's hit them that you've moved on. It's hit them that you have the right to move on from them, considering they were the ones who was sad, depressed, telling you sob stories, or they were the ones who hurt you and betrayed you. They were the ones who were too busy being depressed and unable to recognize that the cup of love that you were trying to offer them, the cup of healing that you were trying to offer them, emotional healing. With the 5 of Cups, the 4 of Cups comes before it, right? And you can see with the 4 of Cups, that person is bored. They're usually dissatisfied, unpleased, and just they don't want that cup. And so they could have treated you like that. They could have put you in a position where they felt like they made you feel like you weren't enough, you weren't worthy. They didn't give you enough attention. They wanted you to chase them. They thought you were going to chase them forever and ever. But now with the Chariot, ever since you maintain no contact, that kind of got them up and awake and like, well, damn, pile number 3 really maintained no contact for so long. That means they're moving on. They found better. They found their Knight of Cups. There's somebody who has come into pile number 3 and flirted with them and said something and stirred up their emotions, who's making them blush, who's making them happy. And so they like, this is what I deserve. I deserve to lose pile number 3 because this is what I did to them. It is my fault. Yes, I'm jealous over them, and I really am sorry for what I did. But it's part of my punishment. It's part of my lesson to lose pile number 3. Unless if I ever decide to get out of that and I take the time to heal, the next time I approach pile number 3, it better be with purpose. It better be with intention. It better be with a clear vision of where you want this thing to go with pile number 3. Cards for what they want to admit. Here it says it's too late. I moved on and do not wish to reconnect. I feel like this is how they want to admit that about you, pile 3. They view you and they think that you're a person who has moved on and that it's too late, that you don't wish to reconnect with them. It's a little too late. With the 5 of Cups, they could have procrastinated on also reaching back out to you and fixing things with you. This can also be a family member for some of you guys. This person wants to admit that they don't feel guilty for how they treated you. Their ego is too big to care. In the past, ego clashes, ego or issues surrounding the ego came about. Because I did say, I don't feel a lot of cheating or third party could have been the reason for you guys to go no contact. It feels a lot about respect and egos and things like that. This is somebody who, for example, they were always a helping hand to everybody else but to you. When it came to you, it was almost like, I don't have time for that. I'm bored. I don't want to. I don't feel like it. With you, it was like a chore. But then you were their girlfriend. This is those people who get a girlfriend. Once they get a girlfriend, they start to hate their girlfriend. Then why did you get a girlfriend? I feel like they're lying to themselves. They're trying to convince themselves out of that 5 of Cups that they don't feel guilty for how they treated you. That's why they need time to heal. There's a lot that they need to focus on. The healing and self-love. The healing and self-love. This has nothing to do with you. They are sorry. And they know you don't deserve any of it. But at the same time, they keep lying to themselves that they don't feel guilty for how they treated you because they're still dwelling in their ego. This is somebody who is still dwelling in their ego and the choices that their ego made them do and lose out on. And they dismiss that by saying, nah, I'm just a man. Nah, I'm a woman. Nah, that's what we do. This is what's acceptable. But deep down, they know it's not. And they want to change with that Chariot. They do want to change. They do want to mature with the Knight of Cups. Yeah, even if there was a third party, I feel like this person could have lied. It wasn't the fact that they cheated, it was how they cheated or who they cheated with you on. And the fact that these two people were able to keep it under wraps for so long, or they were able to play in your face. And then, or you found out that this person was cheating on you and then they said, no, it was all a lie, or made it seem like you were making it up all in your mind. And then when you actually found concrete proof, and you realize that this person is not only a cheater, they're a pathological liar. There's a psychological situation that's happening and needs time to heal. And with that type of experience or with that type of scenario, this is going to take years. It may not even happen in this lifetime. And even if they do heal, pile number 3, I feel like it's too late. I feel like you don't ever want to experience that. They may have also set the standard for you in certain parts, but you're like, I'm good. I experienced what I experienced. I learned what I learned from this person. I'm good. It's okay. I'm good. I feel like all you needed to hear was that apology from this person. Was the fact that this person, no one compares to you. I feel like that's what you needed to hear. That they're sorry and that nobody compares to you. And that just the same that they made an impact on you, you made an impact on them. They also want to admit that there are feelings of anger inside them that they need to release before they explode. Yeah, there are feelings of anger inside of them that they need to release before they explode. And it has nothing to do with you, even though y'all's situation and going no contact adds onto it. Whilst you guys had communication or they had access to you, I feel like they could have also let out that anger on you, or a lot of how they treated you was because of some certain anger or some sort of resentment that they hold for their father or for their mother, and they took it out on you. Some sort of resentment that they had against relationships, against love, against trust, against union. It's like somebody who left a relationship and then they found you, and then you treated them so good compared to their last relationship where they experienced betrayals and heartaches and things like that. And you went toxic, you went like this, and then they didn't know how to handle that. And so instead they pushed you away. Instead they made it seem like you were the issue, made it seem like you are too much, you are too loving, you are too lovey-dovey, you're expecting too much, you want too much than they can offer, or you got your life figured out too much, you know exactly what the type of relationship you want, the exact type of love that you deserve. That was too much for this person. They also want to admit that letting go. If someone leaves you confused more than comforted, you need to reassess their access to you. And I feel like that's what you did. You let go, pile number 3. Because you are like, you're leaving me way more confused than I am comforted. Nope. Cut the access. And so you initiated no contact from then onwards. I'm not going to lie. They didn't expect you to stand on that shit, because with the 5 of Cups, they were just too busy feeling sorry for themselves, going, oh no, pile 3 did initiate contact, so I'm not going to chase them. Shit, I got too much going on. I'm suffering from a heartache. I'm too much in debt. My life is too dark. Everything is too dark. Everything is sad. Everything is depressed. Ew, this tastes good. This is bad. Everything I critique, everything is not good enough. Ew. Mind you, when it's dark at night and it's time for us to sleep, they're up at night thinking about you, pile 3, thinking about all the memories you guys made, all the jokes you guys made, all the sexy memories that you guys made, the sex times that you guys had. And they were their happiest. They were actually their happiest. This is somebody who says, forgive and release. You are stronger when you carry love and forgiveness rather than anger. I feel like, pile 3, that's a message for you. Forgive this person. Even if they don't come and tell you, I am sorry. This message alone, you seeing this reading, is enough of an I'm sorry. They already did say that they hate how much they've hurt you. There's the card that says, I'm sorry. Rewind this reading. Forgive this person. They may not, by the time they come to offer you this Knight of Cups, you would have moved on to better, way better. Way better. You would have moved on to way better. Yeah, forgive and release this person, because when you carry love, you're able to move on from this person properly, and you're actually able to take back your energy from this person and return it to you cleansed and in love, you know? And when you see this person, you won't feel that resentment. You won't feel that hate. You won't feel that anger towards this person, because you would have genuinely moved on and were able to attract better with that Knight of Cups, you know? So yeah. Extra messages, pile number 3. They're not just jealous over you. They're jealous of you and your gifts and just who you are, your essence and being, and what you have to offer this earth. They'll move on to be a better person or partner to others because of you and your experience. And granted, every time your name is brought up or a memory of you, it will always sting or be felt 10 times more by them, because of the reality of things between the two of you guys and the history that you guys share. Family, cousins, significant, we grew up together, but we grew apart. Unforgettable by French Montana and Sway Lee. Your energy is just unforgettable, but also it's time that y'all move on from each other. I feel like that's what's going to benefit the both of you guys. Yeah. Bye. Mwah.